lovely good afternoon and welcome to the Lunchtime Cafe right here on Camnet TV. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Brace yourselves for another exciting adventure when it comes to current affairs. We have a lot lined up for you and a lot has taken place in the country, and right now as we speak a lot is taking place, and we do have an experienced, he doesn't like being called politician, but since he has spent most of his life in politics, he is a former member of parliament, he is a former minister and cabinet minister for that matter, and now he is a businessman and an ordinary citizen. But we reach out to him every time there is something that has to do with political issues, to get some wisdom, some political wisdom from him, and overall governance as it were. My name is Joe Smarter and welcome to the Lunchtime Cafe. My guest this afternoon is Honorable Richwell Siamunene. He is the former defense minister. Honorable, good to see you and welcome.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, viewers.
It's good to have you here, Honorable. A lot has happened since the last time we hosted you. Now, there has been a quarter or section of society that is calling for reconciliation, healing of the nation. And they are talking about President Hakainde Hichilema and former President Edgar Lungu coming to a table and begin to speak to one another to iron out issues that are best known between and amongst themselves. Honorable?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the call or move to call the two leaders, the former and the current, to meet in order to heal the country with this political impasse that is going on. I think it's a move in the right direction.
Okay.
In the sense that the president, or the presidents rather, is an institution. And the former presidents as well is an institution. And these two institutions, they are followers. There are those who believe in the former president, and these are Zambians. And there are those who believe in the current president, and these are Zambians. And we need to move as one, as a country.
Okay.
Now, if we find ourselves in a situation where we find ourselves and without doing something that is progressive, we may cause the retardation of social and economic activities. Because those who are from former ruling party will not want to interact with those who are from the ruling party. And this will cause unnecessary tension. Because we need to engage each other in whatever manner possible as a country, as people. Those from the former ruling party and those of the ruling party must interact, must be able to exchange in terms of ideas, and in terms of goods and services. So this is how a country is built. So to have an opportunity for these two leaders to meet is a good thing for the country. There are only two things. If you want to heal this country, either two things. Two things are only possible to heal this country, in my view.
Okay.
That is my strongest view. It's either the two leaders meet, then the healing happens, or, which is the radical one, or you have the two leaders eliminated from the political
Scene.
and pack them somewhere and then start afresh.
That's a more radical one.
In my view, those are the only two possible to heal the country.
Who should initiate
Because
this
if you,
talk?
for example, you have the former president getting into power again, the problem will still exist in the manner that is, those who are from former ruling party will still cry foul, and will not even agree because there was no hearing in the first place.
Okay.
Unless there is so much wisdom, so much tolerance, so much accommodating from those who are in leadership, and then fairness.
Okay.
And then all the institutions of governance that hinges on good governance. Okay, they are reformed in a manner and fashion they discharge their duties.
Okay.
They are given all the latitude, all the freedom to make their own independent decisions without interference. But leaving it in the manner that it is now, if you bring this political party into power, it will still have the influence toward the police. You still have influence toward the anti-corruption and the Drug Enforcement Commission. So all these institutions, they will still have influence from politicians.
But how?
Because we have seen that in the past, we have seen that. Why is it that always we have issues of theft, issues of corruption after people leave offices? Why do we have issues of that nature coming into force after one has left the office? It tells you that those who are mandated by the constitution of this country to enforce the law, they are not given that freedom. They only become free when those who are in government leave offices. And that's when they have now, there was this pending issue which we didn't, so let's follow them now because they are not protected now. We are free now, they cannot fire us because they are out of office. And those who are in the office, they are not followed. And this trend has continued from past governments, MMD, up to now. We have had the former president being arrested, taken to court, all those things, immunity, stripped off, all these things has been there. Why can't we learn from the past mistake and say, no, gentlemen, we are delaying the progress of this country. Let's have institutions that are free to investigate cases with fairness. That they must, those who are in power, if they are cited for corruption, they must be visited by the law enforcers, of course. So this is not happening. It will only happen one has left the office. And it will happen to this. And the only unfortunate thing that has been there, Bwana, is that with this multi-party democracy that we are in, politics has become a regional kind of thing. You find that the president or that the ruling party wins seats from one region. And this, the president is supposed to appoint members of his cabinet from parliament. And he cannot go to the other group. He will only concentrate within this group. And that means the appointment will be lopsided, will be from one region.
How do we avoid that? Because we have seen it even in South Africa. The DA won in Western Cape, Mkonto Wesizo won in KwaZulu-Natal, Julius Malema and his EAF won in Limpopo. How do we avoid this in politics? It seems like it's a regional thing, it's an African thing. It happened in South Africa, it happens in Zambia. How do we avoid it, Honorable?
No, it's not that it's happening only in Africa. Even in America, we find that presidents wins in certain regions. The other regions is not able to win. Okay. Now, in order to avoid that, that's why the Zambian constitution, those who crafted it, had given the leverage for the sitting president now to appoint members even from the opposition. So those from the opposition, if they are therefore to offer services to the country, they must give their members, their freedom to be appointed and discharge duty on behalf of the country. Now, that is not happening. Immediately you agree, you are fired. Okay?
Okay.
Now, this is one issue the Constitution was trying to cure.
Mm-hmm.
But those who are political players now, they don't want it in that order because they feel that once you belong to another political party, it's war, it's enmity.
Should that be a case
You don't even greet each other. There are other people who don't even greet me. Those from the ruling party. They don't even greet me. They don't want to anything to do with. They will even see my number. I can't pick this one. But they are relatives.
Okay.
We have a relation. So these are things that politics has generated a very ugly face.
Okay.
In our country.
Still on that, Honorable, let me quickly remind our viewers that you can come through on 0973 167 840. That's the number on your TV screen, dear viewers. Please come through and give your submission on the Lunchtime Cafe this afternoon. Honorable, now how do we run away from this toxic politics that we have seen emerging? Or maybe let's trace it back. Where is this toxic politics coming from?
I think if those who are historians or those who are interested in history, they will go back. Zambia, when Zambia was a multi-party system of government. Before the one-party participatory democracy, there was multi-party system.
Okay.
And that multi-party system brought about things that we are seeing now, things that we are hearing now. And then it took those leaders who were at that time said, no, this is not what we are supposed to live as Zambia. This is not what we fought for. We fought for one Zambia. And this issue of democracy is dividing us. If we let it in this order, it will cause unnecessary disturbance to our country, and which is not what we fought for. And they had to sit. And they sat in Choma there, where they made...
Is it the Choma Convention?
Yes, declaration.
Declaration, yes.
That's where one-party participatory democracy was born in Choma. Choma man. Yes. That's how that wisdom came from. So,
okay.
Because of what we are seeing now. And this same thing has resurfaced. It is cause for those who are in leadership now, those who are level-headed, those who are desirous to see this country united, they must look at how we can arrest the situation. Okay? Now, the only thing that can be done is that we must put the country central to all our individual decisions, group decisions. We must put the country first. Okay? And that political parties come and go, but the country remains. So any decision that has to be made has to be based on that how do we keep the country united? What I'm going to say now, as I am speaking now, I must interrogate every word that I'm going to utter. And the one, and it should be building, not destroying the country.
Do you agree with Chief Mumena, Honorable, when he says, he has been quoted in one of the daily tabloids today as a sub-headline, where he says, those that base their statements on dividing this nation, Honorable, should be banned from practicing in politics or governance matters. If you're a member of parliament, you should be banned. If you're a minister, you should be fired, and you remain just as an ordinary citizen. Do you subscribe to what Chief Mumena is saying? Those that are trying to divide the nation should be banned from participating in political matters?
To a certain degree, I agree with His Royal Highness, because he has been affected. He loves this country. I believe so. Because of the love, then you find that you find an alternative way of stopping this kind of nonsense which is coming from politicians. Politicians, they are the culprits because they don't look at what they want to say, whether it will be building or destroying. Now, in adding on what he has said, I think we need to create a deliberate policy to create an institution somewhere whereby those who want to venture into politics must be taught, must be educated the history of this country and where this country is going and what is needed in politics. So much so that we have an institution like those who are going to serve in foreign countries. We have an institution there that prepares diplomatic that prepares them that you are going to serve and this is how you are going to conduct yourself.
That should be applied to political officers.
Yes, a politician must be taught and must be educated that in politics you must conduct yourself like this. You are going there to offer yourself, to offer themselves, not to divide, but to build the country. So any decision, whatever decision that will be there, either in parliament or elsewhere, must be that of building the country. And then they must sign those declarations. And so much so that if there is any utterances which is injurious or which injures another person or any other tribe, then once the court determines the matter and and the person is found guilty of that offense, then that person must be suspended from politics for another 5 years or whatever, a number of years, so that that person must reform, so that only dignified persons, those who have the interests of the country at heart, must be given the leadership. Because leadership is a very serious business. You are not going there to save yourself. You are going there to save the masses. And everyone, either in your constituency or ward or the country, looks at you. Whatever that you pronounce, it will be a gospel truth to the other man, to the person that you are leading. Because you are a leader. Okay? You are a leader. So, any utterance that comes from a leader will be taken serious. And the other people may start acting. Okay? So, what is happening is that having this democracy, so you find that those who are given the leadership in terms of cabinet, they are from one region. Now, when that party loses now, and then those who are running the institutions of anti-corruption and drug enforcement, they want to visit the man and invest. No, there is this case. So you find that they are all found from one region. So when they move now, it's like you are persecuting those people because they come from one region. So because they were all from one region when they were in cabinet, so it will look as though it's a regional thing.
Okay.
Even what is happening right now, most of cabinet members, they are all from, most of them, they are from South, Northwest, and Western. Okay? 60% maybe. Okay? Now, if they are voted out, and that party that will come in and those people now, the anti-corruption, say, no, let's investigate them because we were not able to investigate when they were in positions of influence. So let's investigate now. So it will, to an observer without analyzing the issues, may look as though there is persecution that is coming. And those also in government, even the past president was accused of having the cabinet from only one region. I'm aware. It took myself to sacrifice. But those people who are saying that, they were not allowing their members to be appointed. But yet they are saying they are appointing people. Until the president said, no, give me. I remember very well, Michael said, so you are not giving me the members. Give me, the members to appoint. So, These are things that are happening in the country. But you see, we are not analytical as sometimes we look at the history and we look at the cause of all this. There is a cause in every effect, everything that happened. There must be a cause. So you cannot heal without looking at the cause.
So we have to identify the root cause first of all.
Correct. That is the better way of looking at issues, the better way of solving problems.
Then healing will take place.
Then healing will automatically take place because we have dealt with the root cause. So don't deal with the opportunity infection. There must be a cause somewhere where you have to heal.
Okay. Now, Honorable, let me bring you back to, you've spoken about former President Michael Chilufya-Sata. May his soul rest in peace. Now let's go to former President Dr. Levi Patrick Mwanawasa. May his soul rest in peace. Under his administration, we saw him appointing members of ministers that were not from his cabinet.
Not those who are not from his party.
Those who are not from his party.
Yeah.
And we saw this obviously being replicated by former President Michael Chilufya-Sata. May his soul rest in peace. Over the years, what has changed, Honorable? Why can't we see this being replicated even today? What has really changed in our politics from your observation?
Yeah, this issue now, at this stage, we could have, if we love the country dear and we want to make progress, we could have made laws. We could have made laws now that guarantees that process. So the party in government and the party that in the opposition the constitution should compel them to meet and agree, like it is in South Africa right now.
Exactly.
Yes, they will have to agree, even when they were enemies. But for sake of the country, they have got to call them and say, let's negotiate here. Why can't we have that system? Say, look, if the party in government or the winning party has failed to get the required number of MPs, those who are supposed to be appointed ministers, the party in government will negotiate or shall negotiate with the party in opposition so that it gets from opposition members as cabinet minister. The president should be given that. Now, without interference from the other party, they must agree. The constitution must compel that kind of move. So much so that the composition of cabinet will be balanced in that order. It has been. There are only two governments that balanced the cabinet, that had the national representation. That was UNIP, because it was one party participatory democracy, and then the president there was choosing anyone from those because they were participating in that order. Now, MMD, because they were changing from one party to multi-party. Now, every Zambian wanted to, it was an agreement of the country that we should change. And there was Chiluba had a vast number of members that to appoint ministers. Okay? Now, as we are getting now, other political parties were being formed now. That those individual political parties now, that Siamunene decided to form a political party, and I get all these, and then you find that I will only be popular in the areas where I hail from. So, this has been, and that has affected the whole instance of having a national character in terms of cabinet. So, that is where we have a problem, and that is why we need now to have, maybe there are only two things. The Zambians, they should only, if they want to have that, they should only vote for a party that has resemblance of that character. Okay? And then they are able to mix their voting, not voting in terms of that this one is from this political party, voting in terms of what one is offering, like what we saw independent members of parliament won here and there, and that is the way we're supposed to happen.
Okay.
That way, maybe we are going to heal the situation that we are facing in this moment.
Okay. 0973-167-840 is the number that you're calling. It is displayed on your TV screens. Please come through and give your submission regarding the matter that we are talking about or discussing this particular afternoon with Honorable Richwell Siamunene. Now, Honorable, moving on, let's look at your 2 cents regarding mining investments that have hit 10 billion United States dollars. How does this sit with you when you get such news?
A mining investment that has gone to 10 billion investment. Yeah, that's good news because accordingly, when you invest so much, you expect the returns.
Okay.
So we hope that the returns will correlate with the pronounced investment.
Okay.
So that it will benefit the ordinary Zambian. Because merely pronouncing the investment without the benefit, to me, is not something that I get excited. I get excited if the benefit does accrue to ordinary Zambia. Then I am excited because that is the essence of our these investments. They must benefit the masses. But if they only those who have invested that money will benefit, then it defeats the whole purpose of even pronouncing it. It doesn't make any sense unless it does affect the lives of the people. Then I will be the happiest man in the whole world because I want everybody. What I want for myself, I want for everybody. So that is how it's supposed to be because we are here to save one another, to save each other. We are here, even the investment, those who are investing, they must know that they are there to save other people, not to accrue a lot of money for themselves and so on and so forth. They must recognize that we are here living on the earth for a purpose, and the purpose is to save one another.
Okay. Honorable, kindly hold your thought. We do have a caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm alright, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm Simon Ngona, calling you from Kitwe.
Mr. Simon Ngona.
Yes.
Okay. Your contribution.
I don't know if you can allow me to make my contribution in vernacular.
Please go ahead. Please. Please.
We understand.
Please.
We love vernacular. We love our languages.
Too much.
Okay. Ukukonka nofunde munasera situation mchalo. Ama leader reso. Yabakwete chinga.
Okay.
Orofuti. They seem not just to learn from the past.
Okay.
The same mistakes that the colleagues were making are the same mistakes they are making right now. And if they are told about those same mistakes, it's turning out to be like someone belongs to the other camp, and yet all we want to see is generally a better Zambia. Yeah. Now on the issue of tribe and some levels of affiliation, or as to where someone or from which region one comes from, this is just my view.
Okay.
The problem has been our politicians can talk about issues of tribe, right, in public.
Okay.
But it's a problem that is just rooted in their hearts, and they know it to say, even if we talk about this, we do not actually reach to a level we're supposed to reach for people to understand.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Simon, we're getting you.
If you just look at the voting pattern of Southern Province, the way it has been, the prediction that can be made is that even if we were to go like we were to vote today, it can even be worse than it was the other year. Why? Because of Can we be a Zambian that even when our own does something wrong, we still say what you want is a better Zambia, regardless of where someone comes from?
Okay.
I think not until we reach a stage where we stop favoring our own, for as long as things are not okay, I think things will be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so my contribution is, let's look at the coming generation. How are they going to live with the policies that are being made and the policies that the other guys that left made? You know?
Okay.
So if we want to see a better Zambia, let's be transparent, let's make good decisions, and let's just be balanced in the way we do things, and we are most likely to see a better Zambia. And the issue of tribe will not even be there. Because even in the time of Kaunda, I would say we're not, at that time most of us were not even civilized as we are today. But we lived in harmony. So I purely think if we can be civilized and we know what is good and bad, and then we deal with issues the way they really are, I don't think moving forward we will not have the problems that you're having today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Simon Ngona. They are coming through all the way from Kitwe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Valid submissions.
Yes.
Honorable.
Very, very, very insightful. Yes.
You can kindly, before we allow another caller, maybe respond to some of his concerns. We should be able to condemn our own, like he's putting it, regardless of which part of Zambia you come from. If you are wrong, you are wrong.
The onus is on the Zambian people. The onus is on the Zambian people to make a decision and say, look, we have grown and we want, what we want is a better Zambia. Since we want a better Zambia, which group of people, without looking at the tribe, okay? I, for one, I fought for tribal inclination because I know that my interest is Zambia. So when I saw that things were not in good order, I deliberately agreed, knowing very well that there will be consequences, because I know that I love everybody. I know I belong to this country. So what is saying is correct. The Zambians now, they have to make sure that they vote out politicians who are inclined to a region or a tribe, and vote for a person or a group of people that are offer an alternative that have the interest of this country. Because right now, if you tell me, I want to say this, let me say this without fear or favor. The Zambian people, they have been taken for a ride. I was in government. I was a mayor member of parliament, and I was appointed cabinet, and I have the knowledge of what happens in government, in cabinet. I have a knowledge of what happens as a mayor member of parliament. Okay, having accumulated this, I want to say this now, please. Now, what happens that here, Zambian people, there are schemes that are being made. Sometimes politicians want to say something in order to annoy those who are in government so that they get arrested. They feel that Zambians will only sympathize with you when you are arrested. And
as
the
a politician?
Yes, as a politician. There are schemes that, look, say this so that you are arrested. They know the law. They are the one who makes the law. And they know that once I say this, I'll be arrested. And when I'm arrested, I will appeal to the Zambian people and ask, these arrests are not targeted on one, because they want the people to dislike those who are in government.
Wait, Honorable, please. Let's allow a caller. Let's allow a caller. I want you to expand more on that one, but please, let's hear from our viewer. Hello, good afternoon.
To expand more on that.
Okay, we are getting feedback there. Kindly reduce volume on your TV set as you come through. Please call us again. Honorable, you are saying politicians break the law with impunity.
Yeah.
Because they know that once I break the law with impunity, I will be arrested.
Those in the government will act.
Okay.
And then I'll be arrested. Sometimes Here, this Zambian, there are people who are being arrested, even those who were arrested before. They made capital out of the arrest.
It's a money-making venture.
Yeah, it's a money-making venture, man.
Okay.
They're making money. Those arrested now, once they get into government, what will happen? Compensation. I was unlawfully detained. And then we need to compensate. Let's sign this thing. The Zambian must be able to make decisions that are radical in nature. Because you see, if they are not, they know the minds of the Zambian people. They have studied them. They say, look, in order to get into government, you need to be arrested. In order to be the president, you need to be arrested. So that the people will be sympathetic to you. And then they will vote you in. And then when you are there in government, you can make decisions. Because there is no law. And those who are making those decisions, they are not followed after. Sometimes they will put up a very archaic law that forfeiture.
Okay. Are you not comfortable with the forfeiture law?
I'm not.
Why, Honorable?
No. In the first place, why did I steal? Why did I steal? Why should it be that you return this and then leave this and become a law?
So
are we condoning stealing? Are we condoning theft? You understand? Some certain things that we do and these laws, sometimes you look at it and say, now it means you are permitting to say you can steal, then when you steal you can return it and then leave it there. What about you? The man, the man who is in the village, what about the one who steals from the market? He is arrested. There is nothing like, can you return? There is no forfeiture there.
Let's hear what our viewers are saying.
Yes, what I'm saying that some of these arrests, they are schemed either from the ruling or the opposition. So much so that the Zambian people now, because the Zambian people, you know how they act, they are very good people. Now when you are disadvantaged, if I'm in a disadvantaged position and I'm arrested, and then there's a government, they will side with me.
They'll be very sympathetic.
Me with the opposition, they'll side with me, obviously. They say, no, these are not, because they have the powers, they're acting in that order. That's how the Zambian people, and then the politician they are playing, there is one politician who says that, now I'll be the president because I've been arrested. Because the law in Zambia is
That's what most politicians say.
Yeah, yes. But this is, the Zambian people must come to terms with the reality and comprehend this kind of move.
It's a scheme.
Which is disadvantaging the country. Because the country will not move. Those who are in government, they will be fighting those who are in opposition. And those who are in opposition, they will be fighting so that they get arrested, they get into government. Because they feel that only when you are arrested, that's when you get into government. And this is what I'm saying. And I'm very serious on this matter. Let's open our ears and eyes. And let us start thinking what has motivated this person to break the law. Tomorrow when you give them the power, they will now be signing consent judgment and so on and so forth and benefiting themselves. Okay? These are things. This is a Zambia that if we want the Zambia to be prosperous, we must change the way we think, starting from the voters. The voters also have the role to play. They should not just vote blindly. No. They should be very serious when voting and say, no, guys, are we taken for a ride here? Because they will be using us, and after using us, they go and make a decision there, and then they come back sizing like this. Then this same one comes back, this same one comes back, just like this, and the country will not move.
Mr. Ngona, Simon from Kitwa says, politicians are not honest. There is no truth in what they say. That's his opinion, and we respect it. He says that. How do you interpret that?
Well, yes, they are honest politicians. They are dishonest politicians. Okay? Now, what makes the politicians sometimes being dishonest is the response they get from the voters.
Okay.
Because if the majority of the voters want people who are liars, then everyone will be liar. If for example, you want to propose a woman and you feel that it's only lying, the friend lied to the other, the girlfriend, and that's when you got the relationship, then what will happen with you? I say, I can't, this is a trend. Let me also, even honest people sometimes they become liars because of the response they get from the recipient.
Okay.
Who are the voters like?
Okay.
The voters
Honorable, please hold your thought. We do have the caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Hamata, I'm calling from Mpika.
Mr. Hamwata from Mpika. Kindly go ahead with your submission, sir.
Thank you very much. I would like to disagree on 2 points.
Number one?
That those that are being arrested are being committing a crime deliberately. How do you go around dividing the voters and you think that that is good?
Okay.
That is absolutely not good, and nobody will do that deliberately unless they have a problem with the unity that Zambia is experiencing. And then the second part is that Zambians will side with those that are being arrested. Which Zambian will side with that one who is trying to divide them? Please clarify on those 2 points. Emphasize that we need the unity, because that statement sounds like you're supporting those that have those intentions of dividing the Zambians that have been united for so many years.
Okay.
So please let us be careful even with the statements that we make in public. Those are divisive statements that lead to somebody being arrested. Let us desist and condemn those in the strongest terms, not to use them to say Zambians will side with those that are breaking the law because they know that when they break the law, they are arrested, then tomorrow they will be voted in. Nobody will be voted in for breaking the law by way of dividing Zambians.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Amwate, there from Mpika. Honorable, clarity, please.
I think he must understand. I'm speaking from experience. I'm from the opposition.
As a seasoned politician.
Yes, I'm from the opposition. I worked in the opposition and I worked in cabinet. Okay, there are certain things that we do. We know very well that this will bring problems to myself. Sometimes the lawyers, if he's not a politician, he doesn't understand what goes in there. I want to educate him because it will be good for that, so that people are making decisions. Because this is a motive issue. We are saying here that Zambia should be united. It can come from those in government initiating an arrest. Okay? It can come from the opposition and say, look, we will know obviously that this is what I'm saying. It will bring problems to this country. And you do it. And you say, look, I wanted this. Yes. Has he never heard any politician say, yes, I wanted to be arrested. Now that I've been arrested, I'll be the president. You have never heard. You are a journalist.
On a number of times, Honorable.
Now, what is the problem here? I'm not...
But some politicians say that getting arrested, being sent to prison, being detained in police cells is one of the qualifications of becoming a president.
That has been there. I'm not speaking from without. I'm speaking based on statement that have come.
But Mr. Hamwate wants to find out those that have made divisive statements, Honorable. Did they do that on purpose, or they did that unknowingly to disrupt the peace that the Zambians have enjoyed for the longest time?
What is there is that this law that we are talking about, hate speech, was enacted in 2012. Okay. And I was a member of parliament for that time. That time, actually. You see, in 2012. And what is it trying to cure? Is these speeches of that nature. Are you telling me that those who uttered those statements, they didn't know back of their mind that I'm committing a crime? That this law exists? They didn't know. You mean that they didn't know? I am aware that once I say something that is of hate in nature, I'm committing a crime according to the Zambian law. You mean that they didn't know? When those words, because what was uttered was wrong. And it's an infringement. Although that we cannot speak about the matters in court. But the law is law. Okay, the law is law. and that anyone who speaks in that order commits a crime.
Okay.
So
okay.
that is it. Why has he committed the crime? If he knew that this is what I'm creating, he will land me into prison. Why? Why is it? So these are things that we need to be. When we are talking about these issues, we are talking from experience. And when you are talking from experience, you identify where there is a problem. Then you have a solution how to resolve it, as opposed to say it doesn't exist. Meanwhile, you are saying it doesn't exist, but people have made comments in that direction. I think it would not be fair to ourselves. I think let's identify that there are two things. There is those in government. Now, what I'm saying is that there are those in government. Okay? Those in government, they can. What is lacking in Ghana in this country? I'm totally agreeing that those people uttered those divisive words. Okay? They know, of course, that they were breaking the law.
Okay,
that's why others went into hiding. Okay. Now, again, the problem where it is, I want to qualify it, validate it. The problem where it is that the law is applied selectively. Those who are uttering divisive statements from the ruling party are not arrested in the manner that the opposition are arrested. That is one thing that we need to hear here. It's not that they have not, the statement are not coming from those in the ruling party, but the actions. There is even the other lady was speaking in because I like to be honest, was speaking in Tonga, which was injurious to other tribes. And that should have been done. I don't know whether this time it has been arrested. Other people can clarify that that lady has been arrested because of that hate speech. So that is why we are saying the institutions of governance, those who are discharging, the enforcing the law, must operate independently. So much so that they are able to arrest those who are in government, those who are from the ruling party, and those who are from the opposition, so that we bring sanity. Because those who are from the opposition, they will be committing it deliberately, so much so that then they show that those who are applying the law, the police, are biased. So you understand? To expose the police, and sometimes the police are exposed in the manner that they will follow those who have broken the law. Why they cannot act? Because they feel that they are appointing authority. I think these are things that are happening. We are not speaking from without. I think,
and this is the reality.
This is the reality. I'm speaking here from experience and what I've heard. I've heard politicians speaking that if you want to be a president in this country, you must be in jail first. That's a process. Is it a process? Is it good to commit a crime just because you want to be president? What if it goes beyond and then, and because what they are going to do is that once that thing is done like in that order, they will say, no, it's persecution. We are being targeted from this region. And you know very well, even yourself, even that time of Parliament, there was this issue of this nature which came recently here. There was a Bantustan t-shirt which were printed that time.
Yes.
Yes, you remember very well. You understand? So because this law came because of that, which hate speech that was happened. And somebody was even jailed. I think it's Honorable Chishimba Kambwini. You remember that time? Yes. There was the judgment was passed.
As we conclude, Honorable, in the interest of time, and in the lenience of my director, probably a minute or two.
There is a call that we can have, because we need an interactive kind of discussion.
Exactly.
So that the people also can participate and see where we are going. Because we love this country, we have the unity. And we can only be prosperous if we get united. If we are divided, foreigners and other people coming from, they will find time now to divide us further.
Okay.
Because there is a crack.
Okay. Honorable, having said all that, how do we then venture on a journey or a path of healing and uniting this country, solidifying the unity that we have enjoyed for over 60 years? How do we then preserve that unit?
We can preserve the unit that we have. We need concerted effort. We need the involvement of every Zambian.
Okay.
We need to cast away these what divides us as people. The tribal issues, the church divisions, and the other division that we have in this country should be subjected to scrutiny.
Okay.
Because I'm saying so is that some people, they hate each other because of the church issue, because the other one belongs to this church. I know when I was very much serious with one church, I was critical of those who belong to another church, and sometimes preaching even was against those. So, which is not as well good, because it's hate speech does not only come from the politician or whatever. Sometimes it comes from the church. When you are speaking against another church, that's a hate speech, and it must be looked into. And sometimes these utterances that come, they come from the mind. It means that somebody has been thinking about it, and then he has given expression now by way of word. So, the people of this country must look at the politician. They must stop being used by politicians. They must make decisions based on what one is offering, or based on what one has done in the past. Okay? Making impulse decisions will not help us, because we'll be toasted from one political party to another, and that will not help this country move forward. Only then, when you and me and everybody else say, okay, I'm not going to choose a leader based on the tribe. I'm going to choose a leader based on what one is offering or what one has done. And even those who have not done well, even when they belong to a certain tribe, in either presently or in the past, the Zambian people must agree that yes, we have not been saved well by this one, and that we are not going to consider a tribal issue. We shall consider based on the performance,
Okay.
not based on the tribe. Performance-based decisions are critical at this stage.
Okay. We are still getting your calls as we wind up, dear viewers. Please come through and let's have this interaction. We do have Honorable Richwell Siamunene. And as we conclude, as we begin to conclude, Honorable, let me ask you this question. There is a section of society that believes that this country is ever politically charged. Post elections, politically charged. The question is, why can't we focus our energies, our strengths on, for instance, finding ways of how we can maximize on our copper production, number one. Finding ways of how we can tackle the current load shedding by looking at other alternative sources of energy, such as solar, gas, and the like. How can we maximize on our water bodies? 40% of Africa's water bodies belong here in Zambia. How can we maximize on that? Why don't we, including the politicians, focus their energies on addressing these issues and talking about these issues, including industrialization, such as we had Kapili Glass Factory, we had the motor assembling plant. Right now, Zambia can't even manufacture a matchbox, matchsticks, toothpicks. You have to import. Why can't politicians, their supporters, their sympathizers, focus and direct their energies on speaking about those issues that will thrust this particular country into economic development, Honorable? As we begin to wind up at the mercy of my director.
I think my identification of the problem is that the laws that we have in this country of ours, Zambia, are very weak.
Okay.
They are very porous, such that everyone wants to get into government. They see those who are in government amassing wealth. And then those who are not in government, they fight to get there. And when they get there, they want also to do the same way the others did. And by so doing, you find that it's politics every day, because they want to paint a wrong picture on those who are in government. And those who are in government, they also want to paint a wrong picture for those who are not in government. They want to make sure that they stay in government, on whatever means.
Okay.
And those who are in the opposition wants to get, either to get back in whatever means, because they know that our laws are weak somewhere. It allows somebody to have a personal benefit when he gets into power. Okay? So we must put stringent laws. Okay? That does not permit anyone to steal. If, for example, there is a law which demands that every person who wants to get into leadership must declare his or her asset without fail, and those close relatives. Okay? This is mandatory, and that if you are not able to do that, sometimes the institutions, they must be able to go and visit whatever you are doing when you declare that. And for me, when I declare that, oh, I was a real estate agent, and then they must visit that, what do I have? Indeed, I have that kind of thing, and are certain that indeed this person has got this, and printed in government gazettes. And this is the leadership that you want now. This particular person, this is what he has, and this is what he had, and this is what is there. And then give the leadership to that person. And immediately, maybe halfway in the process, the organization comes back and do evaluation and control that indeed there is no misuse, there is no abuse of authority.
Will politicians allow that, since they are the lawmakers, as we go, Honorable?
Well, the truth is that the way I understand leadership,
exactly,
I understand leadership with that you are going there to save the masses on behalf of who? On behalf of God. So if the politicians are trained in that order, that their identity is the whole, the whole, they must not antagonize each other. Antagonizing one person, you are antagonizing the whole, who is who? God. Okay. So if they are given that kind of information and that kind of wisdom, then they will be able to say, we are going there to save, not to benefit. But right now is that people are fighting for bus station and so on and so forth. Each politician now at his or her own level says, we have to, on this, my level I must have the bus stop. At my level I must have this. So it's like whenever they are supporting somebody, they are also looking at what personal benefit they are going to have, which will accrue to them at that level. And that is why you have these complaints. So we must deter that kind of move, so that those who are going to get into government, into position of influence, which hinges on the masses, must be able to be scrutinized thoroughly.
Okay.
Without interference from any person.
Okay.
The law must be the one ruling us.
Okay.
And that must be made law.
Okay. Honorable, we need to go. Let me thank you most sincerely for coming through and for giving us that elaborate explanation when it comes to matters of governance and bordering, obviously, on the nation.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
God bless you.
God bless
And
you
God
too,
bless the
Honorable.
viewers.
Okay. Viewers, thank you so much for coming through. We have overrun. We need to go. Thank you so much to my director, Mr. Isaac Chifita, and the entire production crew, including the Honorable here who was our guest. Thank you so much to you, the callers and the viewers. My name is Joe Smata. We'll see you when you see us. Good afternoon and God bless.